While it can be hard to head back to work after the holidays, there is some good news for Alabama hourly employees.
Starting this new year, the state is no longer taxing overtime pay. News 19 State Capitol reporter Meddy Beer Temple spoke with the lawmaker behind that change.
Alabama taxes hourly and overtime wages at 5%. But with this new law, any hours you work over 40 will be excluded from gross income. That's 5% more money in your wallet. House Minority Leader Anthony Daniels sponsored the bill last legislative session. It passed with unanimous support in both houses.
It's putting more money in your pocket. It's your money, and you deserve to take it home.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for Yellowhammer Now. Let's talk a little bit about that story we just heard. That's from a year ago when Alabama lawmakers passed a bill, and it was going into effect in the new year, 2024, that said if you were working overtime, you were not going to be taxed on that overtime pay. And it worked a little bit too well. It has worked multiple times better than they thought it would, and now that's actually causing a little bit of a problem here inside the great state of Alabama, which is actually kind of funny. They passed a piece of legislation that worked so well at its intended purpose that they're thinking about trying to repeal it in order to stop it from working so well. Terrible idea all the way around. Absolutely hate every aspect of this. But there's someone else who's on our side who thinks this is a great idea.
Today, I'm also announcing that as part of our additional tax cuts, we will end all taxes on overtime. You know what that means? That gives people more of an incentive to work. It gives the companies it's a lot easier to get the people. And you know, I went to some economists, great ones, and I said, what do you think? They said, it would be unbelievable. You'll get a whole new workforce by doing that. No taxes on overtime.
So when these lawmakers suggest that we do away with this piece of legislation, all you have to do is point to Donald Trump and say, what would Donald Trump do? Well, the answer is do away with overtime taxes like we did here in the great state of Alabama, and it's kind of bipartisan. The original individual who was behind this, Anthony Daniels, House Minority Leader, he's a Democrat. Donald Trump, he's a Republican. We're all on board, unless it works too well. Some are suggesting that we do away with it. Anthony Daniels is not one of them. It's a terrible idea. And look, you're putting money back into the pockets of people who are working overtime. Congratulate them for putting in that hard work for their families, and be happy that maybe they're getting over just a little bit. The government can figure out a way to work without that money. The Education Trust Fund budget is upwards of $7+ billion. I think they'll be okay.